Hello everyone. Our session to continue rakhi ami next question le ahisu and আপোনালোক সকলোৱে জানে এয়া মডেল কুৱেশ্যন পেপাৰ 2 নম্বৰখন আমি ডিসকাস কৰি আছো তাৰ অলৰেডি দুটা পাৰ্ট হৈ গৈছে এতিয়া তৃতীয় পাৰ্টত আমি ভৰি দিছো so the third part starts with this question. Explain the concept of genome sequencing and highlight the significance of the Genome India project. এই কুৱেশ্যনটো আমাৰ GS পেপাৰ 3 লগত জড়িত and science and technology এটা important part হয় for the APSC. So genome sequencing referred to the method or through which the order of DNA nucleotides or bases in a genome, the order of AS, CS, GS, and TS that make up an organism's DNA are figured. So সহজ অৰ্থত ক'বলৈ গ'লে জিনম সিকুৱেন্সিৰ দ্বাৰা আমি সেইবিলাক মেথডক কওঁ যাৰ জৰিয়তে the order of DNA nucleotides or bases in a genome are reorganized. Now the human genome is made up of over 3 billion of these genetic letters A, C, S, G, S, T, S. So now with genome sequencing, we will refer to a method by which the order of the DNA nucleotides or bases will be figured. Now, a genome, what is that exactly? A genome is the complete genetic material of an organism. It is like an instruction manual which contains the information about the makeup of the organism. So, genome to hoise amar jikono eta organismor complete genetic material আৰু এইখন এখন মানে কি হয় যে আমি জানো জিনে actually main হয় না genetic materials are the main part, right? So it contains all the information about the makeup of the organism, while human genomes are made up of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. A virus genome can be made of either DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, or RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. আমি জানো আপোনালোকে শুনিছে DXA মানে হৈছে DNA মানে হৈছে deoxyribonucleic acid. আমাৰ যিখিনি হিউম্যান জিনোম হয় তাত DNA থাকে আৰু ভাইৰাছত তাৰ জিনোমত DNA বা RNA দুইটা থাকিব পাৰে. RNA is nothing but the ribonucleic acid. So কি কথা গম পালো জিনোম সিকুৱেন্সিং জৰিয়তে আমি যিখিনি অৰ্ডাৰ থাকে DNA নিউক্লিঅটাইডৰ সেইখিনিক আমি ফিগাৰ কৰিব পাৰো আৰু জিনোমটো এটা কমপ্লিট জেনেটিক মেটেৰিয়েল হয় যিকোনো অৰ্গেনিজমৰ তো সেই অৰ্গেনিজমটোৰ পুৰা মেকআপৰ কথা মানে তাত কি কি ইনফৰমেশ্যন আছে গোটেইখিনি আমি জিনোমটোৰ পৰা পাওঁ হিউমেন জেনোমত DNA থাকে ভাইৰাছত DNA বা RNA দুইটাৰ দৰে বা যিকোনো এটাৰ দৰে মানে ফৰ্ম হ'ব পাৰে DNA and RNA provide genetic instruction for growth and functioning of organisms. Coronavirus is made of RNA because coronavirus is a virus, so it is made up of RNA. Genome sequencing is a technique that reads and interprets the genetic information found within DNA or RNA. So genome sequencing জৰিয়তে আমি কি কৰিব পাৰো যিখিনি ইনফৰমেশ্যন DNA আৰু RNA থাকে DNA বা RNA থাকে সেই ইনফৰমেশ্যনখিনি আমি তাৰ DNA sequencing read কৰি তাক interpret কৰিব পাৰিব those genetic information that found within DNA or RNA. So genome sequencing, I'm repeating again, is the technique that reads and interprets the genetic information found within DNA or RNA. Now, this is a very important project that is current in current news, that is Genome India project. Taking inspiration from Human Genome Project this year, the Department of Biotechnology initiated the ambitious Genome India project on 3rd January 2020. The Genome India project is a center-backed initiative to sequence 10,000 Indian human genomes and create a database is about 2/3 already completed and will be 100% completed by the year. So, Genome India projector mul uddesho ki asile ei 10,000 Indian human genomes or eta database banabo ji almost complete hoye goise. Of the 7,000 genome sequence, about 3,000 are already available for public access. ঠিক আছে 3000 already available কৰি দিছে public access কাৰণে and this project is led by the Center for Brain Research at Bengaluru based Indian Institute of Science which acts as the central coordinator between a collaboration of 20 leading institutions is collecting samples and conducting its own research. So IISc Bangalore a main coordinator হয় যি 20খনতকৈ অধিক লিডিং ইনষ্টিটিউচনৰ লগত এ কোলাবৰেচন অফ 20খন লিডিং ইনষ্টিটিউটৰ লগত কোলাবৰেট কৰি পেলাই সেই জিনোম চেম্পলছ খিনি কালেক্ট আৰু তাৰ ওপৰত ৰিচাৰ্চ কৰাইছে so institute involved in the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore as well as several IITs. Now for conducting the project the investigators in hospital will lead the data collected through a simple blood test from participants and the information will be added to the biobanks. Blood test or jariyote participant or genome information collect kori pela IISc provide kora hoisil. Now what is the significance of this Genome India project? India's population of 4 billion is made up of over 4,600 diverse population groups, many of which are endogamous or marry within close ethnic groups. Amar jitu Indian population ase 4 billionor, logbog 4 billionor, approx 4 billionor, tat 4,600 more than over 4,600 diverse population group ase. Many of them are endogamous or marry within the ethnic groups, Nijor ethnic group or majote jar biya hoy. Ami janu je marries, what we actually mean is that marry within an ethnic group, reproduction, and getting the same property. This type of things we mean to say that. Now, these groups have unique genetic variations and disease-causing mutations that cannot be compared to the other populations. Sobore eta nijor genetic variations থাকে বা disease causing mutations থাকে that cannot be compared to the other population. By creating a database of Indian genomes, researchers can learn these unique genetic variants and use this information to create personalized drugs and therapies. So the project aims to develop personalized medicine based on the patient's genome to anticipate and modulate diseases. So you know in India we have around 4,600 diverse group. So it may not be possible if we go for the general medicines that may not act well for some particular or certain particular genetic group. So it will be better if we have some personal information or personalized genetical information because that information we can easily get from that genome database of Genome India project, and with the help of that personalized medicine can be created and then prescribed to deal with those patients unique kind of nature of diseases and modulate the diseases. So by mapping disease propensities to genetic variation and interventions can be targeted more effectively and disease can be anticipated before they develop. Disease develop hoar agote tak ami কি anticipate কৰিব পাৰিম. For example, variations across genomes may explain why cardiovascular disease leads to heart attack in South Asian but to strokes in most parts of Africa. See, this is a good example. Variations across genomes may explain why cardiovascular disease leads to heart attacks in South Asian, but strokes in most parts of Africa. Similar benefits will come to the agriculture if there is a better understanding of genetic base of the susceptibility of plants to pest, insects, and other issues hampering the productivity. So this will reduce what? Dependence on chemical. If we get the information about that plant susceptibility to the pests and insects found in that region, then we can change the genome in such a way, we can change the plant variants such a way that that will be more means adaptable to that particular region's climate. So that will reduce the dependence on the climate chemicals. Now, global science will also benefit from a mapping project in one of the world's most diverse gene pools. The project is said to be among the most significant of its kind in the world because of its scale and the diversity, and it would bring to the genetic studies. So, conclusion, we can conclude like gene accounts for less than 25% of the DNA in the genome, and so knowing the entire genome sequence will help scientists study the parts of the genome outside the gene. So this includes regulatory regions that control how genes are turned on and off, as well as long stretches of nonsense or junk DNA, so-called because of the significance of it has not been established. So কি কৈছো আমি যে finally genes accounts for less than 25% of the DNA in the genome. So knowing the entire genome sequence will help the scientists to study the parts of the genome outside the genes, and that will include the regulatory region that control how genes are turned on and off, and as long as stretches of nonsense or junk DNA, so-called because significance of it has not been established. So overall, these lines seem to be complex for you, but overall what we mean to say that through genome sequencing, scientists will get to know the variations of the genetic information in diverse groups, particularly in human cases and in case of plants also, and that will help to help scientists to get more information out of it, and according to those personalized information, personalized medicines or personalized plants variants can be produced, and that will obviously going to impact the economy of a particular regions or the health perspective of a particular region, we can say human beings more positively. So that's it. That's about genome sequencing project. So value addition, like importance of genome sequencing, that will help researchers understand the arrangement of the makeup of DNA or RNA. Sequencing the genome will help to understand certain virus, for instance, of SARS-CoV-2, where it come from and how it phrased. Then participants are the recipients. Participants are those who are from diverse backgrounds, or in that way you will have the knowledge of diverse genome bank. Then similarly, human genome sequencing is important to establish a link between diseases and the unique genetic makeup of each individual. Say the one example already we got about the South Asian heart attack, while the same thing in Africa that easily turns into stroke, right? So then genes may render some insensitive to certain drugs. So genome sequencing will show that cancer too can be understood from the viewpoints of genetics rather than being seen as a disease of certain organs. So cancer can be easily predicted that that particular person may be going to be affected because of some kind of weaker section of that person's cell. So that can be easily known from that studying those genome. So that will help us to predict about the cancer at earlier stages. Then another advances like information regarding drug efficacy or adverse effects of drugs. Also, it will enhance Indian scientific capability. Next step would be genome sequencing of crops that would help in better understanding of the genetic base of susceptibility of crops to blight, rust, pest. Already we have gone through it. So that will help improving our agriculture stand. Then global science would also benefit from the genome sequencing. Provide data will be useful for mapping the spread and migration of a range of life forms in the whole world, and that would help in better understandings of human evolution. These are the benefits that we can get from human genome sequencing and also plant genome sequencing. I hope it is clear to you now. Now let's come to the next question. The next question is about জিঅ'গ্ৰাফিকেল ইণ্ডিকেশ্যন টেগ। আপোনালোক সকলোৱে জানে যে GI টেগটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট। অসমৰ গামোচাইও GI টেগ পাবলৈ সক্ষম হৈছে, আৰু অবভিয়াছলি আগতেই পাব লাগিছিল, কিন্তু নাও ইটছ এ প্ৰাউড মমেণ্ট ফৰ আছ that our very own Gamusa got GI tag. Now we have to know that what is GI tag and how does it benefit traditional products and their producers, and that question can be a part of GS3. GI tag মানে কি ই কেনেকৈ traditional products আৰু producer benefit কৰিব পাৰে. Let's come to the answer. A geographical indication is a name. Remember, geographical indication or GI is a name or sign used on products which corresponds to a specific geographical location or origin. It acts as a certification that the product possesses certain qualities and is made according to traditional methods and hence enjoys a certain reputation. So particular region based, or you can say particular geographical location or geographical origin based kind of development of some product that will be able to get GI tag, and it will actually show certain unique qualities according to the traditional methods of that particular regions, and it will obviously going to get some certain kind of reputation. আমি জানো যে আমাৰ গামোচা অলৰেডি এটা reputation আছিলে, now এটো এটা tag পাই গল GI tag, right? So গামোচা particularly belongs to the Assam, right? Assam gamusa or Assamese towel has a different or unique pattern. The registration of a geographical indication is valid for a period of 10 years, but it can again be renewed from time to time for further period of 10 years. In India, geographical indications registration is administered by Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. which came into force with effect from September 2003. মোৰ লগত আকৌ এবাৰ কওক, এই একটোৰ কথা আপোনালোকে মেনশ্যন কৰিব লাগিব, আমি মেনশ্যন কৰিম কেনেকৈ? Geographical Indications of Goods, Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999, but came into force from September 2003. Geographical আমাৰ ইণ্ডিকেশ্যন অফ গুডছ ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন এণ্ড প্ৰটেকশ্যন এক্টটো 1999তে আহিছিল, কিন্তু এফেক্ট হ'ল ছেপ্টেম্বৰ 2003 পৰা, এণ্ড দ্য ফাৰ্ষ্ট প্ৰডাক্ট ইন ইণ্ডিয়া টু গেট or to be accorded with GI tag was Darjeeling tea in 2004 or 5. 2004 to 5, it got the GI tag, and then the Manamadurai pottery recently earned a geographical indication tag. Recently, this Manamadurai pottery got GI tag. So it started from 2003 according to that GI Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. Now, first product was Darjeeling tea who got GI tag in 2004-5, and current product, the recent one, is Manamadurai pottery. Now, laws governing GI tag under Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property, GIs are covered as an element of IPR. Remember, under Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property, the GIs are covered under an element of IPR. So, this GI is governed by World Trade Organization Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Right. ঠিক আছে, এইটো এটা IPR হয়, ৰাইট? মানে GI পেৰিছ কনভেনশ্যনৰ মতে, পেৰিছ কনভেনশ্যনটো কিহৰ ওপৰত কথা কৈ আছো আমি? প্ৰটেকশ্যন অফ ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিয়েল প্ৰপাৰ্টি। তাৰ মতে GI টেগটো এটা ইণ্টেলেকচুৱেল প্ৰপাৰ্টি ৰাইটৰ ভিতৰত আহে, আৰু WTOৰ যিটো এগ্ৰিমেণ্ট আছে ট্ৰিপছ মানে হৈছে ট্ৰেড ৰিলেটেড এছপেক্টছ অফ ইণ্টেলেকচুৱেল প্ৰপাৰ্টি ৰাইট, ট্ৰেড ৰিলেটেড এছপেক্টছ অফ ইণ্টেলেকচুৱেল প্ৰপাৰ্টি ৰাইটছ, সেই তাৰ ৰুলৰ দ্বাৰাই GI গভাৰ্ণ কৰা হয়। আৰু তাৰ দ্বাৰা আমি গম পাওঁ যে GI টেগৰ 10 বছৰ ভেলিডিটি থাকে, যাক আমি 10 বছৰ আকৌ ৰিনিউ কৰি থাকিব পাৰোঁ সময়ে সময়ে। Now, in India, GI tag is governed by Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999, and this act is administered by Controller General of Patents, Designs, and Trademarks, who is also Registrar of Geographical Indication. Remember, is a GI tag to ase আমাৰ হেতু হৈছে গুডছ এণ্ড সাৰ্ভিস মানে আমাৰ জিঅগ্ৰাফিকেল ইণ্ডিকেশনছ অফ গুডছ ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন এণ্ড প্ৰটেকশ্যন এক্ট 99 আৰু সেই এক্টটোক এডমিনিষ্টাৰ কোনে কৰে কন্ট্ৰোলাৰ জেনেৰেল অফ পেটেন্টছ ডিজাইন এণ্ড ট্ৰেডমাৰ্কছে কন্ট্ৰোলাৰ জেনেৰেল অফ পেটেন্টছ ডিজাইন এণ্ড ট্ৰেডমাৰ্কছে আৰু তেওঁ জিঅগ্ৰাফিকেল ইণ্ডিকেশ্যনৰো ৰেজিষ্টাৰ হয় নাও ৰোল ডেট জিঅগ্ৰাফিকেল ইণ্ডিকেশ্যন টেক্স প্লে ইন ৰুৰেল ডেভেলপমেণ্ট অফ দ্য কাউণ্ট্ৰি আমাৰ GI টেগৰ যিটো মহত্বপূৰ্ণ ভূমিকা আমি ৰুৰেল ডেভেলপমেণ্ট অফ দ্য কাউণ্ট্ৰিত দেখা পাওঁ মানে আমাৰ যিখিনি ৰুৰেল এৰিয়া হয় সেই ৰুৰেল এৰিয়াবিলাকৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত GI টেগৰ ভূমিকা আমি দেখিবলৈ পাওঁ চাওঁচোন কি আছে GI tags helps the producer to differentiate their products from competing products in the market right of course when some product will get GI tag it will has a different value it will have a different unique identity and that will bring more customers to our sheet right so it enables the producers to build a reputation and goodwill around their products which often fetch a premium price and when it will bring some kind of reputation and it will bring a goodwill then obviously its price will be of standard type means we can say a premium price can be obtained from it. The products help in export earning, promotion of tourism, and cultural heritage and natural identity. Of course, it will help in export earning. You know about the basmati, right? When it gets the GI tax, so it increases its products. Means, what we can say is the exports. Likewise, our gamusa is being now promoted. Yes, because of the GI tag. So it will help in export earning, promotion of tourism also, and the cultural heritage and national identity. As for example, here we mention about Kanjivaram silk sarees and Pochapambli ikat contribute to export and popularity. You guys mentioned about gamusa. You guys mentioned about other things that already receive GI tags from our own Assam. Now, GIs have great potential to play a major role in trade between the countries. Obviously, you know about the Tezpur release. Now, it has a very great value in foreign market. Right? You know about those Kazinemu and this thing, those products that got those different products, not these are only, these are different products that got GI tag from Assam. Now, legal protection to GIs protect livelihoods and encourage employment generation. Owing to the premium prices that many GIs command today, there is a possibility of preserving many traditional skills and benefit to the rural economy by improving the incomes of the farmers or non-farmers, because rural area is the area where these things are being either cultivated, developed according to the products wise. So it will benefit by improving the rural economic condition. Then GI allows genuine producer to capture the market and creates entry barriers for the fakes. We also know about those in machine-made gamusas, right? Those are ones spreading in the market because of its less price, comparatively less price to our hand-woven gamusas. But when it being detected, when as the Assamese gamusa got GI tag, now it's being easily caught, and we can put a ban on those products, fake products selling in the name of Assamese gamusa. Then concerns and challenges, the special treatment to wines and spirits in TRIPS agreement appears to be developed country-centric. Developing countries like India seek the same higher level of protection for all GIs as was given under TRIPS for wines and spirits. The battle for GI tag between states, obviously it is an instance. You know about the previous row between West Bengal and Orissa over the ownership of Rasagulla, because Rasagulla is famous in both the region, but as in West Bengal, how Rasagulla, how it differs from Orissa, it matters. So there kind of a means raw, what you can say, between these two states. So this type of competition level may exist. Then false use of geographical indications by unauthorized parties is a determinant detrimental to cost consumers and the legitimate producers. So obviously, if false use of geographical indication will happen by some unauthorized party, that will detrimental to the consumers and of course the legitimate producers. And cheap power loom sarees are sold as reputed Banarasi handloom sarees, harming both the producers and consumers. As for example, do you know about the Banarasi handloom sarees? So some are selling some cheap loom sarees in the name of this Banarasi sarees, that will harm both the producer and consumers. Because as a producer, you as a means legitimate producer, you are going to obviously in the loss side, and as a consumer also, if you buy the fake products, obviously once you find it, then you'll feel what? You feel like you have been cheated. So such unfair business practices result in loss of revenue for the genuine right holders of GI and also misleads the consumers. So protection of GI has over the years emerged as one of the most contentious intellectual property right issues. So that's why proper protection of GI over the years now become one of the most contentious IPR issue. Now, what will be the way forward? So the benefits of GI tags are realized only when these products are effectively marketed and protected against illegal copying, right? Effective marketing and protection requires quality assurance and brand creations and post-sale consumer feedback and support. That is very important. Post-sale consumer feedback and support, whether consumers being satisfied, whether they are satisfied that this is the original copy, and some kind of supports also needed. And then prosecuting the unauthorized copiers, they should be detected and they should be penalized for this. Then for internationally recognized products like Darjeeling tea, international protection is of very, very crucial importance. And then legal protection of to GIs also extends to the protection of traditional knowledge and traditional cultural expression contained in the products. Then intellectual property is a power tool for economic development and wealth creation, particularly in the developing worlds. So GIs have the potential to be our growth engine. Remember, if it will be effectively used, if it is its protection is effectively considered as a contentious IPR issue, so then obviously this GI tag will act as an growth engine, and policymakers must pay a heed to this and give Indian GI products their true rewards. So we are concluding with this way forward that GIs have the potential to be our growth engine, and policymakers must pay a heed to this and give Indian GI products their true rewards. Before concluding the lecture of this part, I want to show you this GI tag of Gamusa. You can see that this, right? Similarly, one more example, Kaji Nemu, Assam lemon, that also got the GI tag, right? So yes, this is a proud moment for us, and yes, that will help our farmers to grow more economically, and also in that way our Assam will be means having unique identity through its different unique products. With that, I'm ending current session. Thank you very much.